right, it's Wednesday at noon. That must mean it's time to teach your business to fish. This is Michael Rager, your host of Teach Your Business to Fish, your business guide. Man, it's been a long week this week. You know, we've recovered from hurricane. We've had all that stuff. Business is starting to pick back up. Things have been, I don't know, it's been interesting out there. So I'm really looking forward to today's show. You know, I've got my friend Natalie Coyle, the queen of, quote-unquote, queen of social media in Houston. She's going to be on with me after this first segment. And, you know, we just want to get out and see what's going on. We've been talking about social media last week. We're going to talk about it a little bit more this week. And it's been really interesting. I've been dealing with some of my clients, and you know, I've been business coaching about 10 years, and marketing overall is one of the biggest frustrations with business owners. I think the reason is for twofold. One is expectation. I'm going to spend a whole crap load of money and I want results like right now. And two is, like I keep telling, they're fishing with hot dogs. They have no idea who their client base is. So I went back to my old strategy that I was doing for the first couple shows, and I sat out in my car beforehand. I pulled out my trusty, business magazines, Marlin magazine, and, talking about drilling rig blues. So we're going to talk about blue marlin in fishing for blue marlin in the Gulf of Mexico on drilling rigs. And you wonder why. Well, when you're fishing this way, especially if you're fishing for tournaments, and tournaments are big bucks. I was in Louisiana, Memorial Day-ish. We were talking to a guy that was going to fish a tournament that week. And his boat, he spent $6,000 to $8,000 a day in fuel just running his boat out there just to fish for blue marlin. So it's very, very precise in what you do. And when I was reading through this article, it's really about live baiting and doing what we need to do, and it's how particular fish can be. And when you start talking about this, you've got to catch yellowfin tuna. And yellowfin tuna is the bait that you're going to use for blue marlin. And they'll eat blackfin tuna, they'll eat mahi-mahi, they'll eat a lot of other stuff. But the reason you want to catch yellowfin tuna is yellowfin tuna, especially small 5 to 10 pounders, are very active. You're going to catch them, you're going to bridle them up, which is the way you put them on the hook, and they'll go down there and they'll swim down to where they're supposed to be hanging, and they'll be very active. They'll swim all over the place. Just like Jonathan's got a video going on now, and they're out there and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Blackfin tuna, they said they get very lazy. They'll do what they're supposed to do for about a half hour, and then they'll go find somewhere to hide, and they'll start rolling over, and they'll die. And, that's kind of what they do. So we want to get very specific on what we're trying to do. And you go reading in this article, and the author is talking about how you need to catch 5 to 12 pound tuna. And he says, if you're looking for numbers of marlin, you want all your tuna baits to be smaller than 5 pounds. If you want to win the tournament, they need to be 8 to 12 pounds. He said over 12 pounds, what happens is the marlin has a tough time eating it and getting hooked. Well, what does this mean about your customers? What does this mean about your customers? The messaging and the media, what you're sending out to them is exactly as the bait that we're sending down to the marlin. Your customers want something. They want something very, very precise. I was talking to one of my clients this week, and we were going through his social media platform. They were spending money on Google Ads. They were spending money on Google AdWords, Facebook, SEO, all these things. And he's like, Mike, we're trying to figure out what's going on and why is it going. And we're finding out that like their average dollar sale is $685. So it's really nice, $500 to $600, upper $600. It's really nice. They make a lot when they make a sale. So they're spending $4,000 a month on this advertising. And last week they made 10 grand. And they're worried about, oh my God, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the right thing? How do we know? So we got on the call with the project manager, and she started going through, okay, let's start breaking this down. The calls that you've been getting, which ones have worked? Which ones haven't? Which ones have you called and you've been able to get through? Haven't been able to get through? And, my client looks at me and he goes, man, that's data that I never thought I should be grabbing. I just didn't know. And he's like, it's really weird. We found out through some stuff that his Facebook ads were giving him lower quality leads than his Google AdWords ads, because they were actually doing pay-per-click. And Natalie's over here sitting to my left doing this. She's doing this, so she's going to chime in on this in a couple minutes. But this is what we're going to have to do. So we're still here looking at the bait for the client. So what we figured was we need to keep the Facebook ads going just to kind of keep the brand awareness and everything up. But we switched the amount of money we were spending, and we're going to move to almost 80% now of our revenue. The money we're going to spend is going to go towards the pay-per-click Google AdWords ads versus the Facebook ads. And we're going to see how that switches over the next 30 days. And this goes back to, I think I brought it up here on this show a few times. One of my mentors was a guy named Brad Sugars with one of my competitors, Action Coach. Hey, Brad's great. Action coaches are great. I'm better. Don't worry about it. I just got to get that in there to my dig to my guy. But marketing's math. And this is what we need to do. Marketing is not about content. Marketing is not about how pretty it looks. Marketing is about clicks and shares and crap like that. Marketing's math. And we need to understand the data and what moves and what works, because what it allows us to do is change. It allows us to move and change what we're doing. So, even with this guy in there's fishing, we need to go in and read stuff like this and understand what's going on. So, Jonathan, we about wrapped up here. My timer's going off. Where are we at? Okay, so we're going to wrap this segment up. This is what we're going to get into. We're going to get here with the queen of social media. This is 2 weeks in a row I've had women. I don't know. You guys got to let me know how you like this. They're way prettier than me. They do a lot of things better than I do. You like their smiles better than me. They smell better than me. Everything better than me. So we're going to get the ladies on here. They're going to show us what's going on. So we'll be back in a minute. We're going to have Natalie. So you guys go out there. We're going to show you how to become a real success. This is Michael Razor, your business guide to teach your business to fish.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, retired NASA astronaut, entrepreneur, and proud son of migrant farm workers. Our migrant families do very important work. Many follow the harvest and move frequently throughout the U.S. and thus have many needs. One way to improve your family's future is by participating in the 2020 census. The census only occurs every 10 years, but it affects public funding for clinics, schools, and other essential programs for our communities. Each person must be counted at the address where they live the most during the year. However, if you move frequently, don't worry. Simply fill out your questionnaire where you are living on April 1st, 2020. The information you provide is confidential and is not shared with other government organizations. The future of our families depends on you. So make yourself count before July 31st. For more information, visit the website 2020census.gov.
Are you looking for a full-service company that can handle everything from a new roof installation, restoration, and maintenance with all the experience that comes from nearly 50 years of business? Joe Ochoa Roofing specializes in inspections, roof repairs, new roof installations, gutters, siding, windows, and even more. Damage on your roof can sometimes take up to 1 year or more to show up. Joe Ochoa Roofing gives you the peace of mind you need to ensure your home and family are well protected from weather elements. Joe Ochoa Roofing offers the best quality workmanship with an accredited business since 1996 by the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating. We also have financing available with no interest and no payments for 12 months. So don't delay and call us to get a quote at 281-890-0000 or visit our website at www.ochoaroofing.com for more information.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
All right, we're back. This is your business guide, Michael Rager with Teach Your Business to Fish. And I have my good friend, Houston's own queen of social media, Natalie Goyle. Natalie, how are you today?
I'm great, Michael. Thank you so much for having me on today. It's truly a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. We haven't seen each other for a while since COVID hit. I haven't seen your little girl, and it's always fun chasing her around the restaurant as we try to talk.
It is. That is exactly what happens
Usually.
every single time.
Usually. So, Natalie, tell everybody about Shooting Star Promotions, what you do, why you do it, and when did you start it?
So I started my business in 2014 to help business owners really get the most possible exposure. What we do is we actually use a three-pronged approach, including social media, email marketing, and event promotion. This is going to guarantee that you reach your target audience and help your business grow. We know that social media is great for branding. However, more than 80% of people still buy from email marketing, and they buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. That's why we included event promotion in our plan. With that, during the pandemic, we actually started using that through Zoom to host different types of webinars, different events, live sales, anything to help get your business to grow. I absolutely have a passion for marketing, which is why I started my business in the beginning.
So three-pronged approach.
Yes.
I remember when we were talking about
Yes.
let's get what's the steps. How important is it for people to understand that really marketing's job is to bring in leads that moves you to a talk about sales, right? That's what it's all about. When you were putting together your three-prong approach, what made you look at step 1, step 2, step 3? What made you move through there, and how did you come up with it?
Well, we really realized that people, even though social media is great for branding, it takes a long time to actually make those sales most of the time. With that, then we saw that with email marketing, you really get to develop that relationship. More people check their email and actually will respond to you or actually do your clicks. So with that, you can actually see people who are clicking and build your audience. Now, when you talk about event promotion included with that, you get to capture their email address. Because most of the time when you just build a landing page, we have found that people actually don't want to put their email in there because they don't want to be bombarded with emails. Mm-hmm. So the way to get around that is through event promotion. So with all of those together, we have found that it actually helps you make sure that you're reaching your audience across all platforms, not just social media. I've
really pushed a lot to a lot of my clients host an event, do what you need to do and stuff like that. It really sucked, on my side, because we were really starting to get into it, and then COVID hit. And
right.
Like, shit, now what do we do?
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And how are you seeing right now? Because I'm kind of hearing that people are getting sick of Zooms.
They are.
Yes. How are you talking to your clients about looking at doing something a little bit different to get them out of the Zoom stage? So
a lot of people right now are starting to do some Facebook live sales and things of that nature. So if you have a retail business, I really recommend you venture into this. People still want to go shopping. However, they're afraid to actually go into public. So with that, you give them the opportunity to still purchase. However, they can do it right from the comfort of their home. When you talk about a service-based business, you want to always offer a replay. So therefore, they don't have to necessarily be on the Zoom call with you, but they can watch the replay and you still get all of their contact information at the same time.
Yeah, we did one last night. We were talking with contractors on how to understand their P&L statement, and it's really amazing. We were asking them questions. When's the last time you checked this? And they looked at you like the deer in the headlights. Like, what do you mean P&L statement? What's that?
Yes, exactly.
And stuff like that. And that's what you really got to look at. Marketing's tough, and we hear it. And I know when you've been a client on and off of mine for several years, and I appreciate it. My liver likes it because Natalie and I, we'll talk about this in the third set. We really like margaritas, and
yes,
so we have lots of fun when we do our we do our coaching sessions, but. People get frustrated. I mentioned this, in the opening. People get frustrated with marketing. How do you set expectations with your clients so they understand what should be happening?
Well, I really try to focus my clients on the fact that even though we're doing a branded campaign and ads on social media, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a direct sale. You have to give it time. You have to build that brand. When you're in person with someone, it takes you about 7 to 10 times in order for them to meet you and actually make a sale. Social media, they're not actually meeting you. They're just seeing your brand. So it's going to be about 50 to 100 touches before they actually make the sale, which is why we incorporated the event, because then they actually get to meet you you. Again, people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So the more that you tell people that it's going to be a long process on social media alone, you have to incorporate other forms of marketing in order to make it successful.
Yeah, and I know is one of the things when I share with my people is 99% of the time when people look you up online, they're not looking to buy.
Correct.
They're the 1%. Okay, you got it. Your house is starting to flood. Okay, you're looking for a plumber right now. You broke a tooth. You're looking for a dentist right now. But if you're looking for someone to do social media with, if you're looking at clothes, if you're because I know you do a lot of retail, a lot of restaurants, stuff like that. That's kind of your niche there. They're checking it out.
Right.
They're going to research and find out what other people are saying about it. So when it comes to platforms, when you're pushing things out, what platforms with your clients do you find are the most successful?
It really depends on who their audience is. If they're more business to consumer, I do recommend Facebook. If they have a younger market, I recommend Instagram. And if it's business to business, I do recommend LinkedIn. However, LinkedIn, you really want to focus on building those relationships, not running ads and not really not getting a connection and immediately contacting them for the sale. You immediately turn people off. You turn every single person off. Let me say that again. You turn every single person off if someone makes a connection and you immediately try to sell to them. Let them get to know you. Share things on their timeline. Go comment on the articles that they're posting. Build that relationship. That is what social media is about.
It pisses me off.
Oh,
it really does.
Yes.
When I get, hey, Mike, looks like we got a whole bunch of people in common on LinkedIn. We should connect. All right, great. Hey, how can I add value to me? Hey, this is what I'm trying to sell. You want to know what my response is?
Delete.
Yeah. Or, I got one of my friends, a friend of mine, guy named Cameron Harold. He spoke, like 5,000 times. He's built a $300 million company. And he posted once that his conversation with somebody on LinkedIn that promised him that she could teach him how to get booked at speaking events. And his last picture was him sitting in recliner, showing her that she's number one.
Well, it's obviously like she didn't do her research and know that he is already having speaking events. Like that's what's happening on a lot of platforms is that they're not actually learning about you. They're just trying to make the sale 100%, and people don't appreciate that.
No, they don't. I get contacted all the time by financial advisors, and my first thing is, I'd love to be able to help you. How can we work together? I just want you to know I have a financial advisor that I'm happy with. Crickets.
Right.
They don't want to build. They don't want to build a relation with me. They're trying to sell me, and some stupid idiot told them to do this. They didn't tell them to go find the 5 to 7 pound yellowfin tuna and hook it this way and do this. Just blast and piss off people does not work.
No.
It doesn't. How close are we on this segment, Jonathan? We good? We running? 2 minutes. I want to get to one thing. I want to push it to you right now, and then I want to finish it after. This is something that's been ticking me off. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and I like to share information. And here's the new fad: if you like me and follow me, I'll like you and follow you back. What do you feel about that?
That is never going to be the right business. I'm just letting you know. The reason is because you're not actually hitting your target audience. Just because they're liking you doesn't mean that's the right audience for you. You want to go, like as Michael said, you want to go find the right bait. If you don't have the right bait, it's never going to work. Just having more followers doesn't give you more business. The goal of social media is to increase your business, not increase your followers. Increase your engagement, not just get more people on your page. There's ways, scientific proven ways to do that.
Yeah, it's do it right. It just gets me. It is so funny. These people come out. If you like my page, my goal is to get to 500 likes this week. Will you like my page? I'll like yours back. I'm like, you're just going to screw with the algorithm. Yes. And you're going to start seeing crap that you don't want to see. And you're going to spend money on marketing. And nobody who you want to see it is going to see it, you idiots. Quit doing it.
Yes, totally agree.
Stop doing that. And it's also coming out. You sound like 6th grade girls,
You do sound like you're very young. When I mean, that was my first thought when you started talking about it, because that is exactly what happens. Like, oh, like me and I'll like you back. Woo, we're so, yeah, it's like a little kid.
It is just frustrating. It's so frustrating. So, we're about done with this segment. I think it's great to get to know you. I want to start going into this next segment. We come back. Pitfalls. Where do people screw up? And how do they do some things? And let's talk about that. Let's talk about your target market and who you can really help and why you're going to do that. Sound good?
Yes, sounds perfect.
All right. This is Michael Rager, your business guide. I'm going to swing things back over to my friend Jonathan in the booth, and he's going to make you look at some advertisement.
Hi, I'm Mike Mogel, the CEO of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. A clean and disinfected space is essential to keeping your customers and your staff healthy, safe, and productive while preventing the spread of COVID-19. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with more than 20 years experience in janitorial, restaurant, post-construction, and floor maintenance cleaning. We really make it shine. We are focused on quality cleaning and wellness in our customer spaces. Our team is professionally trained to ensure not a spot is missed, and we use products that are safe for your property and your people. Our services are tailored to your individual needs and include expert floor care, dusting, sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, detailing, glass cleaning, and deep disinfecting. Our experienced team is here to make your office as comfortable and clean as possible. Visit our website at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call us today at 832-689-7996. Now that's a clean sweep.
Are you looking for a full-service company that can handle everything from a new roof installation, restoration, and maintenance with all the experience that comes from nearly 50 years of business? Joe Ochoa Roofing specializes in inspections, roof repairs, new roof installations, gutters, siding, windows, and even more. Damage on your roof can sometimes take up to 1 year or more to show up. Joe Ochoa Roofing gives you the peace of mind you need to ensure your home and family are well protected from weather elements. Joe Ochoa Roofing offers the best quality workmanship with an accredited business since 1996 by the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating. We also have financing available with no interest and no payments for 12 months. So don't delay and call us to get a quote at 281-890-0000 or visit our website at www.ochoaroofing.com for more information.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hey, it's your business guide, Michael Rager, and we're back with the queen of social media in Houston, Natalie Coyle. So, Natalie, we ended that last session telling people not to be idiots.
That's very true.
Juan popped in, and he said we should push across the street and don't be idiots. And it's not that we don't want you to people to get to know you. We want the right people to get to know you. So how important is that? Because we were talking about just getting any like versus getting targeted likes. How's that different?
It's very different simply because when you're just getting any likes, that's not the right clientele. So you're never going to actually transform that person into a real client. You're just getting more people on your page. When you actually do your homework and actually go through and find the right clientele for you on social media and target those people with your ads, you're more likely to get business from that and grow your business. But if you're just getting more likes and just getting more engagement that's random, that people, that doesn't constitute a sale. Isn't the goal of business to make money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's the goal of business is to make money. But I think a lot of people think that, and from what I've got from these Facebook pages, if you got a lot of people following you, you're now an influencer, and you've got the potential to make money from Instagram or this. And it's like, look, I ain't got the body to be an influencer. That ain't happening. So I don't know. I had a friend on, I think, second show, guy, Lee Winkleman, is a great guy, he's a lawyer, but he's a bodybuilder, good looking guy. He makes just as much from training as he does from being a lawyer. And women want to see him with his shirt out. And that's his brand for that part. That's not Lee the lawyer. That's Lee the trainer.
Right.
And that's perfect. So it's nice for him to have a lot of followers because it moves him. But when I went and looked at his Instagram face, his followers were people that were bodybuilders. They, or they just like looking at handsome men, and I'm sure that's fine. But you and me, it's different. They want to look at you. You got a great smile. But me, I want them to think about business.
Right.
I want them to think about business and looking at business from different ways. So what are some of the pitfalls that happens, when you bring on a new client?
Well, the number one thing is that clients need to understand that I really do create an entire marketing plan for you and then help you implement that plan. Yes, I am willing to take on your ideas and we can talk about them the best way, but just posting willy-nilly things isn't going to be what's best for your brand. We need to be very targeted in the content that we're posting and the types of things that are going to create the engagement to gain the clients that you're looking for. Not just posting, pictures of you. Yes, you want to do some behind the scenes, but that doesn't need to be the bread and butter. You also want to make sure that you're always posting testimonials. People forget about that, whether they're video testimonials or actual testimonial posts. People do read those, especially nowadays with everything being at their fingertips. You need to make sure that people know that people are using your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, testimonials are huge, and I know myself. I haven't been doing that. It's on my to-do list in this quarter is to get video testimonials done. Because it's funny is with what I do. A lot of times, it's versus startups versus established businesses and the things that we do. When I met you, you were a startup. I mean, you were brand new. Let's go. And it's all about building business.
Yes.
But it was still, I really had to get you on track to get targeted.
Right.
Because you were still at the beginning. I
was just throwing a net. Here, how many fish can I catch when that's not the best way to go fishing?
and it wasn't. And we really targeted things in and you got really good, because so you people know, I don't do crap. I got the idea and I know how it needs to do. Natalie's the one who actually executes.
Right.
She executes ideas. And, so she's the type of person that, when I send people to her and we do stuff, I know it's going to get done. You don't want me to do it because it's not going to happen. At
least you're honest.
I'm totally honest. It ain't gonna happen. When you started, now who is your target market? So when we go the queen of social media, who is her target market and who does she help best?
Retail is really my bread and butter. I really enjoy them because you can really see the sale very, very quickly. It's very easy to do a lot of different types of content. Also, restaurants are really good. However, that's the first thing that they cut is marketing. And it's like, if people don't know that you exist and the types of things that you're offering, then how are they going to know to come actually to your business? I mean, just because you open doesn't mean that people are going to know that you exist. You have to do marketing. That needs to be number one on your list, especially if you're just getting started.
Well, it's really funny as I look at, I was in financial services at one time, and I used to tell people, I said, look, when you're young, put as much money away as you can because you're going to make more money in the long term. In a business, you need to push into a marketing plan and not, like you said, willy-nilly go into it. You need to be really focused on where you want to go. And then when you get into a downturn, people don't realize downturns are where you make money.
Right.
A lot of businesses are going out of business right now, and I feel sorry for them. But I'm going to tell you, all this has done is, I hate to say it, is just sped up the process. A lot of them were going to go out of business anyways. This sped it up faster, unfortunately. And those that come out of this are going to be the strong ones.
Right.
This is what you're going to see. This is, I hate to say it, survival of the fittest, so somewhat. Law of the jungle going in, going out. You're going to see some really strong businesses. So when you're looking at businesses and helping them get strong and you're putting together a marketing campaign, how do you help them focus and how do you help them determine exactly what they should do?
We really try to focus based on what their avatar is. So you really need to know who your target audience is before we start building you a marketing plan. And from there, we can grow your business that way. We also want to make sure that you're constantly posting. Like when you go to a page and they haven't posted since 2013, I think they went out of business. I mean, how are you not posting any content, especially relevant content in today's terms with COVID? You have to know, people have to know that you're in business, that you're still doing things because so many businesses are going out of business right now.
Yeah, one of the things I always got to tell people too, especially a business owner, when it goes to your personal pages, quit posting political stuff.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Stop
yes.
it.
You turn off customers because not every customer has your same belief.
I know, and it's really, what I want to do is I've got a couple of my clients when I brought them over, one of them is, Guiding Light Home Inspection Services. So if you guys need your home inspected, go get them. But they're great. But when I first got them, Mike Hamill, who owns it's a great guy, he's a veteran. He's all these great things. But guess what? Your clients don't care that you're a veteran, do they?
No, they don't at all.
Who do they care about?
Themselves. It's all about them.
Yep. We just call it WIFID. What's in it for me?
Yep.
And as much as you're proud of what you do or you've done in the past, your advertising and marketing has to be about your client.
Correct.
How do you do that? How do you push your client to understand it without kicking them in the butt and making them do it to understand the avatar?
Well, we really talk about what their client needs. So when you do your advertising, you really want to focus on what the client needs. So if I just have a random title, that doesn't mean anything. But if I ask you a question, are there loopholes in whatever it is, that's going to make them think about it. Like, oh, maybe there are. Maybe I'm not protected. I have a life insurance client, and that's one of the things that we do. Are there loopholes? Are you properly asking them the right question? Because so many times they're not. You're just saying this is a webinar on wine and wills. Well, that doesn't mean anything to me. But if you're telling me that I have a teenager and that when they turn 18, they may not be protected because I didn't know that, well, now I'm interested because I have a teenager and I need to make sure that they are covered and that we know what's going on.
Yeah, it's emotion. It's your marketing needs to evict some sort of emotion because people do not buy based on ration.
Right.
They're not rational. People think they're rational.
Right.
The only person I know that's ever been rational was Spock on Star Trek. He was the only one that did everything rationally. But what people do is they buy on emotion and then they try to rationalize it because it's really what you were saying, the words needs or wants. And it's wants and needs are two different things. They want something, but then they try to justify that they need it.
Right.
And I need shoes, but I don't need $300 Nikes.
Right.
My if you look at my flip flops down here and all this stuff, that's
so
what
fancy.
they are. Hey, my toes are almost a little shiny. They were getting raggedy. I was getting raggedy COVID toes and all this, all this stuff that happens. But when we start looking at social media versus other forms of media, how do you? I think this is probably going to be, hey, Jonathan, this is going to be our last question going on. We're getting close. Yeah. So how do we tie social media into other forms of media to make sure that we need it? So we got like 3 minutes. Okay.
Well, the best thing about social media is it's very trackable. You can actually see exactly who's clicking. Well, not who's clicking, but you can see how many people are clicking and exactly how many people have been reached. Where it's not just a general, like this is how many people have seen the show or what have you like that.
Mm-hmm. So when we bring it in, because it's I know when we first started talking, I used to tell you to teach your clients to have little checklists by their register and say, how did you hear about us?
Yes, keywords are always key. So whenever you run an ad, you always want to have a coupon code or something like that. That way you know for sure that your marketing is working. If we're just doing ads and people are coming in and buying and your employees are not ever tracking how they found out about you, there's no way that you're going to ever know that the marketing is working. You're just going to say, oh, no, they just came in. Well, there's no guarantee of that. So if you know for a fact that when they come to the register, they tell you, oh, I heard about you through Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or even email marketing, then you know what is working and what is not working. You need to continue that practice even after you know it's working to ensure that whatever you're changing is still working moving forward.
Well, that's there we're going to marketing's math. We can be able to track and what's going on and our return on investment and average dollar sale and all this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, all this stuff is really, really important. And I had a really good idea and a question I was going to have in my head going through that whole thing. And then I decided to listen and I forgot what I was going to say. So, I know I'm one of those guys that I'm thinking like 3 questions ahead. And then I decide to get smart and listen. But you need to really communicate. Social media, I struggle with it because I see it's the most antisocial thing in the world. It really is antisocial. But if you get it working for you, it works.
Yeah, it does work great, but you have to put in the effort and the time. Like it's not once a week posting. You need to be posting more often than that. You need to be creating a strategy so that it works for you. If you're just randomly posting things, then no one's ever going to see your message.
Yeah, because you got to look at it. I tell a lot of people, I thank you so much for liking my post. But I'm saying liking posts do nothing for it, does it?
No, you really need people to comment. You need the engagement, especially now. Like likes absolutely do nothing for you. You need your followers to comment. You need engagement. You need to ask them a question. My best thing right now is that even if you're just posting a motivational thing, say if you agree, comment yes. Like that's engagement. That's getting them interacting with your page. Like it's such a simple thing to do that works really, really well.
Yeah. So remember, if you see me post something, engage and share it. Engage. Ask me a question. I answer my question. I really do. I know we were talking about this in the break. I've gotten two clients in the last couple months, 3 clients in the last couple months. One was a really big client. 2 were smaller clients doing some stuff, but I got them through social media. Actually, a 4th one. He just signed up this week. The guy was talking with the food truck guy, and it was from social media. He posted something. I responded, and what he did is we knew somebody in common, and he asked the guy about me.
See?
He said, this guy, Mike, he commented on what I'm doing. Is he an idiot or not? And the guy said, no, thank you. And it ended up that, I ended up writing a business plan for him. He's going to come on to a biweekly coaching client for me. And it's going to be nuts, but just by answering his question.
Right.
And that's what you need to do. So we're going to get out of here on breaking it. One tip. The one tip that you're going to tell anybody on social media, Natalie, what is it?
The one tip is that you need to be consistent in your posting. You need to make sure that you are engaging with your audience, like we were just talking about. You need to make sure that you're creating that relationship. If people are commenting on your post, you need to make sure that you always respond to them, not just liking their comment. You need to respond to them. Develop that relationship. Just like when you go fishing, you're developing those relationships with the guys on the boat. Like you need to develop the relationship. If you're not doing that, it's never going to work with you.
All right, that's it. The queen of social media. We're going to talk when we come back about the fun stuff of why we're in business. Natalie's not been on fishing trips with me. We're still trying to get her to come do that. I know it'll be fun because I've drank with her. And it's always enjoyable. This is Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to be back in a few.
Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies for any printed materials. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs.
Hi, this is Alberto Tudela. The Houston metro area has experienced a substantial increase of wind and hail damage, flooding, and other perils in the last 5 years. Now more than ever, it is critical and essential to ensure your company, your property, as well as your family have the right insurance coverage. Tudela Insurance Solutions offers a wide variety of insurance for home, auto, property, as well as life insurance. My goal is to find a tailored option that guarantees the right coverage at the right price, specific to your needs, present and future, so you protect what matters the most. Call me today at 713-714-4475 and allow our team at Tudela Insurance Solutions to make sure you're protected. Accidents never happen when we expect them. Now is the time to ensure you have peace of mind.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
All right, I'm going to keep it. Look, I got no pants on today, Nancy. So, no, I got shorts. So this is where we're going to go. This is our kind of running joke going in here every week, whether Mike's going to wear shorts or not, because my knees reflect in the window. So it's sunny out today, so it's not bad. So this is Mike Rager, your business guy. I'm back with Natalie Coyle, the queen of social media. So Nancy, God, I'm getting old. So Natalie, let's go. There's three things that I like to teach. They're totally different. Advertising, marketing, and branding. Okay, when I look at it, advertising is, hey, buy one, get one free. Come in here and do something with me right now. Bring in a coupon. Marketing is, okay, I want to keep my name out there a little bit. I want you to remember me. And branding is how I treat my customers. That's how I look at it. How do you look at it?
I agree with that for the most part. Branding is great, but you don't really normally get sales when you're just doing any type of branding campaign. That's just about, hey, here's my name. I look amazing. Yay me. But again, we just talked about people don't want to know about you. They want to know about them. So how are you helping them? As you said, advertising is about right now. How can you help them? Buy one, get one free, coupon, something of that sort. Marketing is more long-term. Marketing is a long-term strategic approach that you need to use in order to gain more clients.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that people don't understand that there's differences. I remember when we first met, 'cause God, we've been knowing each other now like 6 years,
I think
something
so.
like that.
Yeah.
We go back to the Heights Chamber days, and I remember one of the most successful things you did was the food truck festival, first one, and she was so successful that I couldn't even eat there. There were so many freaking people there. It was
yes.
ridiculous. But you went to him and said, "Hey, look, let me handle this. I'm going to fill the place for you."
And I did.
You
I did just that.
freaking
Yes.
filled it. I think the worst part was like, 4 food trucks didn't show up? Or
4
something
food
like that.
trucks didn't show up, and then food trucks kept running out of food because since it was our very first one, they actually didn't think that it would be very successful, and it was like the exact opposite of what everybody
Yeah,
thought.
and she crushed it. It was a good thing there was a lot of beer there.
Yes.
That was the good things. So let's talk about why we're in business. Okay, you got a little one now, because when I met you, you didn't.
That is very true.
We got in a lot more trouble together when we were networking, because I mean she's the queen of social media, but she's kind of the queen of networking too. Because Natalie, especially in the Heights area, everything that's going on, you're very active in the Heights Chamber. You're out there representing.
Yes.
You're out there representing. So why did you, when I first met you, you were in insurance, you were doing this stuff, and one day you said, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to become the queen of social media.
I actually started my business just because I was tired of other people changing my pay, and I wanted to be my own boss and see what it was like. But because I had done so much networking and all of that, my business took off right away, actually beyond my wildest dreams took off. So it is about getting involved and being seen. Like, people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So the more that you're involved and the more that you're in your community and making a difference, the more likely you are to be successful. If you're just, showing your brand and posting it out there, then, you're not ever developing those relationships. As we ended the last segment, you have to have relationships, and that's how businesses grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's when I go on one of my trips, when we take people to Louisiana, we teach them to be a real success, and it's relationship, equipping, ethics, and leadership. It's all about people.
It is.
It's all about people, and everything is one of my first podcasts. I had my buddy Dave Rudine from Chicago Leadership Partners. He and I cause all kinds of havoc when we go to John Maxwell things. You think he's a pastor, and he's my whiskey and cigar buddy. So
nice.
That's why I wish he was in Houston, because he'd be my pastor in Houston. I just watching church on TV it's just hard for me. But he's a great guy. But we both believe that everything rises and falls on leadership, but leadership's hard to quantify. Marketing's easy to quantify.
It is.
And going through there. So you started this business because you got sick of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
One day we were at a bar called the Corkscrew, which is no longer around, and we were drinking.
Of course.
I'm like, Natalie, what are you doing? And you go, I got my own social media thing.
Yep.
And I said, I can help, because I was drunk, and of course I could help.
Yeah.
And what happened? How did we work together, and how did it help you blossom?
Well, you started really giving me tips and action items. Like when you start a business, you really have no idea what you're doing. Let's just be honest. That's very common across all, doesn't matter what industry you're in. So whenever I started working with you, you gave me very much exactly what to do. These are the steps that you need to follow. This is the guide. But you also, the best part was you held me very accountable. Every week you would tell me over margaritas, like, you're not doing what you need to be doing. And I'm like, but I don't know how. You're like, well, you need to learn. Like, these are the things that you have to do. And through following your advice, now look at me. Here I am 6 years later doing amazing and absolutely loving my life. Now I have time to be with my daughter and to have my own schedule and work the way I want to work instead of on someone else's schedule and 8 to 5 every single day.
I remember the first month you hit 5 figures, and we ended up at what was the bar down the street, around the corner?
Down the street, yes.
Oh my gosh, we celebrated.
Yes.
but going from 4 figures to 5 figures and going, oh my gosh,
it was huge.
I can do this.
Yes.
I can really, really, really do this, and maintaining it. So how have you been maintaining, growth in the business? What's your success, now? How are you going out as the queen of social media and getting clients?
I do a lot through networking. I go to a lot of different Zoom meetings now. I'm not a fan of Zoom anymore. I'm totally over it. But that is the way right now that you are meeting and getting to know people. And you have to be consistent. Like, you can't just go to one of those meetings and then not go back. People get to know you. You have to get to know them. But the key with a Zoom meeting that everyone forgets is that when people put their information in the chat window, you need to set up one-to-one meetings off of that. If you're just sitting there and do the whole time, then you're never going to get anywhere. People don't reach out to you because they don't think they need your service, and they don't want to be sold to. But if you send an email asking them for a meeting, they're more likely to respond and actually get to know you. And then they might refer you. It may not be for them, but it might be for somebody they know. So you have to, it's like a coffee date is what I used to call it, but now those aren't really happening. So now we call them a Zoom date, but that's how I do it.
Yeah, I'm very selective on who I do those meetings with, as well as, I tell people, when you go out and you network, when you get into a room and you want to figure out who the top 5 people are. You don't want to meet everybody in the room.
No.
Because it's a waste of time.
Correct.
And you're going to get a whole bunch of people that you don't want to meet. And it's really funny is there, a couple years ago, the push was build your email list, build your list, build your list, build your list. I've been pushing for me and my clients to trim your list. And let's get it down to who we actually want to meet. Right. Let's quit this, casting out to everybody. Let's quit throwing the net. Let's get, going where we want. I hear this all the time. People go, well, I'm casting a wide net. And I said, look, when we're casting a wide net, we're looking for bait.
That's true.
We're not looking for what's going to feed us. Right. The bait is what's going to catch us, catch us the big fish. Great. I don't have a lot of time to fish for bait. I give you now. We went fishing in Memorial Day, and one of the issues we had the day before, we're talking to the captain. He was like, "Man, we got bait in 10 minutes. It took us an hour and 45 minutes to catch bait that day we went." And we had a 90-mile run out to the rig we were fishing, and we got there, the tuna were just busting everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. We caught 8 tuna in the first 45 minutes, and then the bite shut down. It just stopped. The tuna went down. We didn't see them the rest of the day. If we'd have been there an hour earlier, our limit was 13. We may have been able to go ahead and limit it out really quick. And it's, you see they're there, they throwing the cast net on the bait, right? And that's what we're doing. We just had a hard time finding them, and doing that. So when you're going out and finding customers, potential customers, how do you figure out when you get into a room, who do I want to meet?
I really look at what they do, and maybe not look at them as they are my client, but more like they could be a good referral source. Like they know enough people that they might be able to refer me out to clients. So that's how I look at a room. Yeah,
I look at referrals as well. It's kind of interesting. I'm in a couple networking things, and one I'm in, I like. One I'm like, it's because I got no business owners. I got a whole bunch of salespeople.
Right.
And
Makes it very hard.
I love salespeople. They're fun to go drinking with. They're fun to have a good time with. But 9 times out of 10, they can't even get you the meeting with the owner of the company they work for.
Correct.
When you need to be there. So it really is. I remember at I think the Beers and Business and Brews event that used to be a Friday at 3:00, and I met a girl, and she was a photographer, and she took photography. She took photos of kids for wealthy people.
Okay.
And her photo packages started at $1,000. And I'm like, you're not going to sell that to anybody here. And most of these people aren't going to be your referrals.
Right.
You need to start going to spending money and going to charity events and high-end events. And that's where she went. And
it's a very
she
good
started
idea.
making money there. And she started going and finding, she met rich grandmas. Because rich, new parents, you're a relatively new parent, and your daughter's beautiful, but you can't afford it.
I wouldn't spend $1,000 on
pumping out
photos.
$1,000.
Definitely not.
You're not putting out $1,000 on a picture. But rich, your grandma, your mom might.
She definitely would.
Your mom might. Your dad might. Those are the people you gotta go to. Even that's why it's so important. You mentioned avatar before. I just say your fish. You need to know your fish to get rich. Your avatar is your fish. You got to know exactly who you're fishing for.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to let you ask me a question or two, just because I'm going to turn the rigs and we got a couple minutes because we talked fast. So I'm going to let you ask a question or two.
So tell me, when someone is in business, what would make them want to hire you? Like, how can you help them?
How can I help them? Oh, shit.
You asked me.
Nah, that's a hard question. There really is. It's accountability. We need to have a plan. Just like you said, a plan for marketing. We got a plan for growing our business. And it's really funny is we talk a lot about marketing on this show. If you're a brand new startup, yes, marketing is key. But I'm going to tell you, if you're an established business, you're making $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year, you probably already have something that's working to bring clients. We can actually increase revenues and profits by looking at operations. Those are the things that you've got to fix first. I had a new client that they're a rug cleaning company, and when we met them, I asked their operation managers, I said, what happens if we turn on a marketing campaign and we increase business 25%? And he looked at me like a deer in the headlight, like, holy crap, we can't do that. So we had to look at operations. So if I would have just came in and pushed marketing, I'd have put them in trouble.
Right.
I'd have made very big trouble because, if I brought them in, somebody good like you, they're in trouble.
Right. Very, very quickly, actually.
Very, very quick. I got, I think I talked about last night, I did a thing on understanding your profit and loss statement. I got a client that he's into commercial. He does a lot of commercial work, landscaping, outdoor work, and he's got 4 divisions of the company. And we ran through his P&L statement. And we found out 2 divisions of his company is every time they booked a new job, they lost money. And he didn't know that because he was making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a month.
Because he has the other 2 that are working.
Other 2 were making a crap load of money, and these 2 were. And I'm like, man, did you realize that? And he goes, no. And we were just going to start. You wanted to start marketing this, and we would have marketed. We'd have put you in trouble. So it's when you look at a business coach. If you hire a marketing coach, you better understand your profitability first. You better. So, was that a good enough answer?
Yes. So my next question is, so do you recommend, I know that coaching is always beneficial. I have had the lovely pleasure of working with you. But do you also recommend group coaching? Because do you agree that you learn things from the other people that are in your group as well as from you?
Yeah, I do group coaching. The group coaching I do right now it's generally for people that are more towards the startup stage that aren't to that 7-figure level yet. But you're exactly right, because we're all kind of working on the same types of things in that group, and we're all moving. But I do something called a hot seat. And what the hot seat is, I put my clients in, is they bring a problem to the table and they tell the group, this is the problem I'm having. And then everybody in the group gets to ask one question about the problem. Not, have you tried this? Start to clarify the problem. Because what happens is we see the problem from our perspective, and we don't see everybody else's perspective. You think about it, the beach ball syndrome. What color is this beach ball? Well, if I'm looking at it as white, you're looking at it, we're seeing it from a different perspective. So we start digging that out, and then I give everybody, said, okay, you've heard Natalie explain a problem. 8 more people have asked and dug into it. Now, if you were Natalie, what would you do?
Oh, wow.
And
that's powerful.
So now they all go on and they say, Natalie, if I was you, I would do this. And then at the end, we go, okay, Natalie, what are you going to do? And you do it. And then whoever's suggestion you selected, you keep in contact with that person through the next week, and they report back as how you worked on that problem over the next week.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it really does. It's yeah, and this is what you need to do. I love you reading the thing there. Yes, you are hosting.
Yay! Awesome.
But this is what we need to do. And group coaching is just a different dynamic, and it just has to do with your growth. You need to be transparent. Because I'm even in the group, I've coached you. I'm not let you BS me.
No, never.
And
you always know if I do. That's the thing, right away. So
and I text, we'll text you during the week. We'll do this and say this is going on. What the heck's going on? But even in the group coaching, you have to be transparent, because the other people in the group are going to call you out.
Good. I mean, that's what a group is for. It's accountability and make sure you do what you're supposed to, and then actually do your homework, because so many times, as a business coach, I'm sure you give people assignments and then they don't ever do it. So
my big thing right now is the coaching focus sheet.
Yes.
Nobody. I'm telling you, I start coaching. I said, look, those of my clients who fill this out weekly are uber successful. Those who do not struggle. Which one do you want to be?
And most of them,
uber successful. Yeah. Do they do it?
No.
Every week. Where's your coaching sheet?
Yeah.
Where's your coaching sheet?
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to be successful. Oh, you're lying to me? And so, those are the things I do. So that's where we go. So we got 2 minutes. We're going to wrap this up. This has been fun. I love it. What are we going to do? We're going to go ahead sushi next?
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
We're going to go do something.
I'm excited.
Fun after this. All right. I'm going to give you one key tip. Okay? I want you to give one key tip and tell them how to get a hold of you.
Oh, for me to give one?
Yep.
I thought I was hosting.
No, I'm taking back control.
My one key tip is that make sure that your social media channels are working for you. And with that, I want to say that I do offer a complimentary social media audit. You can go to queenofsocialmedia.com, and when you fill out the contact me form, make sure you put complimentary audit, and I'll be sure to give that to you. We want to make sure that you're using all of your social media channels to the best of their ability. And my last tip is, again, to make sure you build those relationships. So what I do when I do your audit is I make sure that you are actually doing that.
Well, okay, great. So for any of you out there, we'll wrap up now. Friday, 11 to 1, I am doing a webinar on a lot of marketing, but coming out of COVID and understanding who your clients are and taking things. If you're interested, go to www.teachyourbusinesstofish. Find me on Facebook. That stuff's all over Facebook. Teach Your Business to Fish. My webpage, Michael Rager, my webpage. You'll see me and my handsome little boy there. But come on out. Come in. It's free. Come in, learn some stuff, and get some stuff going. So, man, I've loved this. This has been great. We got to do this more often, Natalie. This is great.
Totally down for it.
All right. So this is Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to wrap up this Wednesday. We're going to see you next week. I want you to go out there, become a real success, help your customers, build relationships. We'll see you next week.